Hi, my name is Paul Kautza. I'm the Director of Education for TDWI, and we're here in our San Diego World Conference, and I'm lucky enough to be joined by Shawn Rogers, who is the Vice President of Research for BI and Data Warehousing at EMA. Shawn, thank you very much for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here. Always enjoy this.
Yeah, this is great. This is my favorite location for our conferences.
For sure.
But so, Shawn, you've been teaching for us for quite a while on big data,
Yep.
and also on social media, social analytics, and matter of fact, you're teaching your social analytics class this afternoon, I think.
In an hour.
Yep. So in our Boston conference coming up in about 6 weeks, in the middle of October, we're taking the social analytics for the enterprise class from a half day to a full day, so 6 hours on it. And I know that the whole analytics paradigm has been on an upward trend, and I don't think it's going anywhere soon. I think that's one of the ones that's not going to be a fad. It's not going to be a hype cycle. It's just going. And I'd like you, if you could, talk a little bit about the social side of it and the social analytics side of it, and where you see that fitting and why people should be taking more notice of it these days and figuring it out.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a couple of drivers that seem to push change in our industry. You and I have been around for a lot of those cycles, and oftentimes it's a demand or sophistication from the end users. Sometimes it's new technology. Other times it's economics. The money kind of talks and tells us which direction we can go. And perhaps maybe the last one might nowadays be new and interesting data. And social sort of fits into being pushed forward or driven by all of those sort of those drivers. Sophistication of user is people really want to know more about their customers and their brands, and they're using social data to get there. The technology allows us to do a more sophisticated brand of analytics, to your point, than we've ever been able to do before. And we can do it more economically and at a greater speed of our business. It matches the speed of our business. And we're bringing in this new exciting type of information. Sentiment, social data tends to be broken down into different components. And we're seeing great real enterprise use cases on all of the different components that we see in the social sphere from a data type standpoint. So it's got a little bit of big data pizzazz and buzz to it. It's got a new data buzz to it. And it seems to be exciting, folks. And as you know, you tend to listen to the people that attend your classes. And almost every time we've taught the half day, one or two people in the class have said, I'd really like to hear the long version of this.
Yes.
So I'm excited to take it and extend the content. We'll make it a little bit deeper from a background standpoint, but also I think having more time, getting more time from you to be able to exercise this, we'll be able to get a little deeper into the who's and the how's. And they'll have a little bit better or more things to take away and come back to their business and say, I know how to start this, or I know where I want to go with it.
So you gonna add any more fun videos into it?
I probably will. I'm famous with at least with you that I have several videos in my class, and it is a little bit more interactive. I think it's fun to be a little bit looser with this content because the data is fun. It's interesting, and so I have 3 or 4 videos that I run in the class. I'll bet we'll add 1 or 2 for the long version.
And I do love your videos. They're very good. The last question I want to ask you a little bit is we TDWI ages ago did the BI maturity model, right? And now we're just releasing the big data maturity model.
Yeah.
And if we look at analytics maturity, I think it takes many different facets, but if we look at social analytics maturity, where do you think we are on that curve?
Well, it's interesting that you ask. I have a social data analytics maturity model that I use when I help customers understand where they're at. And at the very least, it starts off with participating in the social sphere. And some companies are still struggling with policies and how best to do that. The next step beyond that, of course, is the ability to listen. And then as you start to listen, you want to integrate or introduce that data into your analytic environment, so that you could start to take action or learn from what you're integrating. And at the very top of my maturity cycle or my maturity model is this ability to take almost nearly automated action utilizing this data to make better business decisions. So we're very early. I take a poll, a little kind of a straw poll in my classes most often. I used to even ask, how many people here have LinkedIn accounts, and I'd still get a few hands down. That doesn't happen anymore. Everyone's on Facebook, everybody's on Twitter and so on, and they kind of understand kind of what the data is that's being produced. But more often than not, I think they see it through a different lens. They see well, why would I care if Shawn was sitting on his couch eating pretzels, drinking beer, watching the Packers? Well, you might not, but the NFL might, Frito-Lay might, the Anheuser-Busch folks might, and it starts to give people insight into our daily actions. So there's behavioral data, there's sentiment data, there's social graph data that's very interesting to see who knows who within a sphere of influence. There's rich media like video and so on, and we're starting to see that become a big part. You think about all the information that's on YouTube and Vivo and all these other places, and the enterprise is starting to leverage that as a data source. So it's very exciting.
Yeah,
and this extended class will let us just get, I think, more deeper and richer into all those topics. So.
Yeah, I agree. I think it is very exciting, and it also can be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in social analytics, we hope to see you at our Boston conference. I think it's the third week in October.
Yes, sir.
More information on that, go to tdwi.org for our Boston conference, and I hope to see you there. This is Paul Kautza with the Data Warehousing Institute. Thank you very much, and have a good day.